In this episode of Film Stock Reviews, I'm reviewing The Matrix Resurrections. Now, The Matrix Resurrections is directed by Lana Wachowski, and it stars Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss. It was released December 22nd, 2021 in theaters and on HBO Max simultaneously. And let me just get this out of the way now. This is going to be an unedited review, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on this movie. And I'm very happy to say that I did not see this in theaters, and I saved my money and I watched it on HBO Max. I'm a true proponent of watching new releases on streaming services because then if it's not good, then you can actually say that you didn't spend your money on things. Basically, we find out that Thomas Anderson, Keanu Reeves' character, is a successful video game developer who developed the three games, The Matrix, which were the first three Matrix movies, The Matrix Reloaded, and The Matrix Revolutions, based on his dreams of The Matrix. So as soon as the movie starts, you can actually understand what's happening. It's really easy to pinpoint. But then, when you go 45 minutes to an hour into the movie, you try to understand what's happening. So basically, all this was happening. Basically, the world he was living in, the real world, so to speak, was the fake world. And the Matrix world, or where they were living in, was the real world. It's really hard to understand. So instead of 20 years have passed, so to speak, from the events of the last movie, 60 years have passed. And then we find that certain things are happening. We get flashbacks of the first movie. We get archive footages of Agent Smith, played by Hugo Weaving. We get Lawrence Fishburne. We get, all this whole array of shit happening that doesn't make any sense from time to time if you've never seen the Matrix movies. Now, Niobe, Jada Pinkett Smith, does return in her role from the Matrix films, and she plays an older version of her character. And instead of Zion, it's Io, which is more of a pristine, safe place to live, and she just goes on, and she knew about Neo here and there. And then the character that Priyanka Chopra plays is called Satine, and she more so is a programmer created with a purpose who met Neo before, the end of the Machine War. Now, if you remember in one of the scenes in the previous movies, a little Indian girl greets Neo at one of the settings. This is her as she grew up. The Oracle is not in this at all, but the Oracle is mentioned. And here's the thing that I enjoyed the most. I enjoyed the gung fu. The action was good. The fighting scenes were great. The cinematography was good. The whole aspect of things were good. But it was such a long movie that it was 2 hours and 28 minutes. You can cut this movie down to 2 hours or an hour and a half or an hour and 45 minutes and you get your point across. Trinity, Carrie-Anne Moss, is not really in this that much. It's more so based on Thomas Anderson Neo. And he basically created the Matrix through unwitting additional programming and stuff. And Jonathan Groff as Smith, or Agent Smith, so to speak, was good. The mannerisms were great, but it could have been done better. But I did like Jessica Henwick as Bugs, the woman with the blue hair. She was badass. She's a gunslinger. She has a white rabbit tattoo. If you don't know the meaning behind that in the Matrix movies, then you don't know what the hell's going on. Other than that, she's basically the forefront and the center of the beginning of the movie. The beginning of the movie starts off with it starts off like the first Matrix movie. Trinity, the whole her kicking these cops' asses and everything, and it just goes right there from there. The movie as a whole, and I did enjoy Neil Patrick Harris's character as the analyst because his character was so different and mundane. And he basically is the architect, so to speak, in this version. He is more so of the creator and the current iteration of the Matrix, who is, hiding behind being Thomas Anderson's therapist. And you could tell certain things because he has blue glasses on, so we don't know what's real and what's fake. The whole aspect is interesting because the idea of reality in this movie was different than what any other Matrix movie had. I mean, should they have made another movie? I would say no, but it's really hard to understand certain things. And the character that Yahya Abdul-Mateen II plays is Morpheus, but it's an alternate version of Morpheus. He does capture the mannerisms of Lawrence Fishburne perfectly, and I do want to say that. Other than that, I mean, Keanu Reeves is great in this movie as Neo. He gives that feeling of what he is. And then Lambert Wilson, who played the Frenchman in the previous movies, does return in a cameo, but it's really short. So certain things are happening like crazy in this, and then all of a sudden you see Christina Ricci in the beginning of this movie. And the interesting, funny thing was that during the first 45 minutes of this movie is poking fun of itself for the franchise. Meaning there is a scene that Thomas Anderson, Neo, is talking with Smith, his boss, and he says that his business partner, who claims to be Warner Brothers, wants to fund the sequel for these games and then fund the sequel for the new movies after the first three were so popular. That's basically making fun of this movie itself. So Lana Wachowski really did something incredible, but she didn't capture the essence of what the Matrix movies really, really are. The resurrection aspect is in there, but they do mention why the new so-called analyst, the architect played by Neil Patrick Harris, he does explain why he resurrected Neo and Trinity and so forth. If you pay attention closely, you really understand what's happening in this movie. It's really easy, it's really simple. The action was good. The story was kind of confusing at times, but other than that, with the story being confusing, the action is basically overwhelmed everything. And seeing everything turn into so-called zombie bots, I want to say, or the bots, was different, but it could have been done better. For me, The Matrix Resurrections gets 2 out of 5 stars. Only the action was good, and Keanu Reeves as Neo was great, and that was it. The whole underlining factor of making everything a joke in and of itself to being a well-anticipated sci-fi movie, being the 4th installment in this franchise, was really a letdown, and the movie was just way too damn long until it happened, and then the ending was really underwhelming, so to speak. And I'm hoping they don't make a 5th one, because just make 4 movies and that's it. Actually, you didn't really need a 4th movie. But let me know in the comment section below what you thought about The Matrix Resurrections. Did you like it? Did you not like it? What did you think of it? And will you be checking it out now that I reviewed it? And I will say that you can check it out in theaters or on HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, check it out, but you have to pay for the true premium subscription to check it out. And, you know, what did you think of the whole story aspect of it? Who was your favorite character? Like I said, for me, the character of Bugs was really, really fun, and she was different. I wanted more of her. And if we do get a spin-off movie with her character, I would love to see that. And definitely the actress. We'll definitely be seeing more of her, too. And like I said, let me know what you thought about this movie and the direction it went, and the movie poking fun of itself, which I didn't actually anticipate, but which was really surprising. So let me know in the comment section below about the questions I just asked, and I'll see you guys in the next review video.